Your complaining is literally driving people away from you, and to the people who do stay and listen to your complaining, well, they are complainers too. They are your misery loves company friends or family members or whatever, because if you're bonding over complaining, that means you guys are both holding each other down to this level of I will accept what I don't want and continue to wallow and sulk in it. They're not the tough love people that are going to try to push you to do better for yourself and want better things. They want you to stay stagnant. They want you to stay small with them so they can have other people to complain with. And if you can recognize yourself in that, well, now it's time for a change. Hey, it's Julia. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. I make self-development, self-improvement, self-love content to help with your mental health, to help you glow up, to help you become the best you want to be and live your best life. So if you're not already subscribed, what are you waiting for? Do it. This video is clearly all about the negative habit of complaining and what happened when I stopped and how you can stop too, and really start to look at the glass half full instead of the glass half empty. And when you do that, you can start to attract more people who are like-minded and see the glass half full instead of half empty, and won't be sitting with you complaining day in and day out about the same stuff that they never change, that you never change, when you could just be changing those things. You could literally be taking the time you spend complaining and using it to change the things you're complaining about. Wow, mind blown. Shocker, I know. First, let's start with what complaining does to your life. Basically, when you have a mindset of the glass is half empty, you look at the world through, I'm trying to think of what the opposite of rose-colored glasses is, and what's coming to me is garbage-colored glasses. So you're literally looking at the world through tinted garbage-colored glasses. Everything, positive or negative, ends up becoming negative because you're looking at it from a lack standpoint. So even if you receive $20 from a tip at work or something, whatever, you're like, that's nice, but I'm just gonna spend it anyway on takeout on my way home from work. I'm still stuck in my dead-end job, blah, 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 blah. That is what I'm talking about when I say lack mentality. You are not looking at the glass half full. When you look at the glass half full, you're like, oh, wow, I received a $20 tip at work. Oh my gosh, like, that's amazing. What can I do with this $20 to improve my future? Oh, I could put in my savings to save up for that class that I really want to take. I could put it in a mutual funds account and invest it and make it make money on itself. I could use it at the grocery store on my way home from work and buy some groceries that are gonna last me for like a few days. The options are endless when you start to look at things from the glass half full perspective with the rose-colored glasses instead of the garbage-colored glasses. Also, I'm not doing makeup today. I'm really letting my skin breathe. I had a bad breakout and we're going with the natural look today. So side note, the thing about our focus and attention, what we put it on grows. So if we're putting our focus and attention on the things we're complaining about and just noticing the doom and gloom and negativity that is going on in our lives, we are staying at a mentality that is not going to take us to the solution to solve our problems that we're complaining about. So when we continue to just focus on all the negative things that come from these situations, things, and people that we don't prefer, we end up attracting more of it, because whatever we put our attention on, we start to notice more and more and more of it. And you can do that in a positive way, you can do that in a negative way, but when you're complaining, that's you doing it in a negative way, and you're speaking it into the world, into the universe, into other people's ears. And they're thinking about you in that way. You're putting that perspective in their minds. And then when you talk to them, that's all you talk about is like what's not going well, what's not working out. But you're not brainstorming, you're not challenging these thoughts, you're not challenging these situations, you're not trying to find a solution, you're just literally wallowing in it. And that is what complaining does to your life. It keeps you in this cycle of, I don't like this, I don't like that, I can't change this, I can't change that. It keeps you stuck in the same place with no forward momentum. Not only is it keeping you stuck in that place, it actually gets even more detrimental than keeping you just stuck, because it actually takes you down the spiral of the negative momentum. Whereas if you started to focus on things opposite, you would spiral up. Things in life work in cycles. So when you think you're stuck, you're probably just in a negative cycle, staying stagnant, which honestly is better than building negative momentum. But either way, when you complain, you can get either option. Complaining will make you appear unattractive to the people that you actually want to attract, because those people aren't complainers. Those people aren't problem focused, they are solution focused. They're people who, okay, you know, a challenge comes up, maybe a problem, maybe a situation that needs a fix, right? That's just life. We all have issues, problems that we have to find solutions to, we have to grow from, we have to figure things out from. The people you want to attract are the people that figure their stuff out and don't sit and wallow and just accept the negative reality as all that's going to be for their lives. Those people will find you unattractive because you're complaining. They won't want to spend time with you. They're going to be repulsed by that energy. And the people that you will attract when you complain, who do you think they are? More complainers. Misery loves company. So if you're going to sit around and complain day in and day out, those are the people that are going to hang around you. People that do the same as you. So what to do instead of complain when something comes up? Like, how do you let people know that you're going through something? How do you let people know that you have a problem? How do you let people know that you're struggling with something? Well, you just simply let them know you're struggling with something. You don't add the judgments of complaining and the repetitiveness of the complaint. You say, okay, you know, I need help. I have a situation I need help with. You don't need to vent everything. If you need to talk about something, you can talk about something with somebody, ask their opinion, get their advice. But otherwise, there's really no point in talking about it. Like, talk about it once, get it out of your system, let it go. You know, if you need to vent, you need to vent, let it go. But if you find yourself continuing to repeatedly bring it up, talk about the same issue with different people repeatedly, and then doing it with a different issue repeatedly, different people, this and that, same people, whatever. You see the pattern? That's complaining. You have to notice when you are doing it to be able to stop. The first step to this really is being aware that you are even doing it, because a lot of times when you are in that negative mindset, you don't even realize that what you're doing is complaining. Like, you just think you're talking about an issue with your friends or your family or whoever, but you have to really know the difference between discussing an issue and continuously complaining about different things, the same thing, whatever it is. There is a difference. There's a fine line. This is one of the reasons why I highly recommend therapy, because I know if I'm gonna go to my therapist and I'm gonna talk about the same thing over and over and over again, well, one, I'm paying her to be there, so she's not gonna get fed up with me. Two, I am paying for this service. I'm not gonna waste my money. I wanna solve my problems. I don't wanna be paying for somebody to listen to me talk about the same thing over and over again and never have a solution. Your friends aren't your therapist. Your family are not your therapist. They might hear you over and over again. They may get annoyed with you. They may tolerate it, they may not. But eventually you need to realize that you have to stop. And when you stop complaining, you also have to realize that you're not available to listen to other people complain. Because what does it do if you hear other people complain all the time? It rubs off on you. And you become like the 5 people you spend the most time with. So when you cut your complaining, you need to cut time down with the other people who you spend time with that complain repeatedly too. Because if you don't, you're probably going to fall back into that habit of complaining. So what I like to do instead of complaining is I like to ask myself, okay, like, what is this emotion trying to tell me? What am I upset about? Why do I feel like I want to talk about this with people? What is it going to do? Ask myself questions and really try to get to the bottom of what I'm feeling and why I feel the need to talk about it. Being very intentional and mindful about what is going on in my mind, because complaining, it stems from the negative thoughts. If the negative thoughts aren't there, there really isn't anything to complain about. It's not really the actual challenges and problems you're dealing with that you're complaining about. You're complaining about what's in your brain. Because lots of people can go through challenges and not complain. They can just see it as, okay, that's a challenge. I gotta figure out a solution to. I got to take baby steps to get there. You know, you can see it in a different framework. Whereas a complaining situation is you're seeing it as a problem. And you have all these thoughts and emotions around this problem, and you're not taking any initiative to solve it. Or you are taking initiatives to solve it, but your initiative isn't working, and you have to keep going back to the drawing board. Well, you're gonna have the problem or the challenge no matter what. It's there, and how you handle it and how you focus on it is what's going to change it. You can't solve a problem from the same place that it started. The solution is at a different mental frequency than the problem itself, and you need to get yourself to that higher mental frequency to be able to get the solution to the problem. So sitting there complaining about it isn't taking you to that higher mental plane to get your solution. It's just keeping you stuck. So I suggest, instead of complaining, to take yourself out of the situation for a second. Do something that makes you feel good, that makes you fully focused on the present moment. Then from that space, build from there. Literally force yourself to see the positive in every negative situation. That's not toxic positivity. That's actually just literally trying to see how you can benefit from everything that you go through, because there is a lesson, there is something you can learn from every negative thing you experience. No matter how awful, you can take some type of beneficial positive thing from it. You just have to be open to allowing yourself to see the glass half full. As we said. So for example, if you know getting yourself a really yummy healthy smoothie is gonna brighten your day and get you out of a bad mood, then plan for that. Plan to take yourself by yourself to the smoothie place, get the smoothie, sit there, enjoy it. Literally be present with your smoothie, be present with the positive, enjoyable feelings you get from the smoothie, and go from there. Literally build off of that. Do something else that makes you feel good and like productive and positive. If that's going for a walk, if that's working out, do those things. Start building that inner positivity by treating yourself with the care and the love that you desire. That's one way of taking yourself out of focusing on the negative. Another way is just literally addressing inside, like, all right, why am I so upset about this? Ask yourself, like, what's the worst that can happen? What if this problem is never solved? What if I never figure it out? Do I want to continue to sit here and complain, or can I just accept that this is my situation? Let me find a way to handle this, to be in this, to go through this with a positive mindset. Because when you do that, you feel a lot less pain and suffering. You know, like if you're in physical pain, if you're going through something that is really emotionally painful, yeah, you're still gonna feel that, but the suffering level that you experience is a lot lower. And the reason it's so much lower is because you're no longer resisting feeling the pain and the awful feelings that is within you. When you actually allow yourself to feel everything, it starts to dissipate. Most really hard, uncomfortable, negative feelings are there because you're not allowing yourself to fully feel them, and they're not going to dissipate, they're not going to transmute, and they're not going to leave until you fully see them, honor them, accept them, feel them, and then you can let them go. But until then, they're going to stay in the back of your mind, and they're going to keep coming up, and they might keep coming up in different situations with different people, different places, but it's the same feelings. And you'll notice it if you really pay attention to your patterns. That's part of the awareness. You have to really start to look at your patterns, the way you think, the way your thoughts make you feel, and the words you repeatedly use. It all becomes very habitual if you really, really look at it. The next step after that, I would say, is to go into problem-solving solution mode. But you can only go to that step after you have fully gotten yourself into a positive mindset where you can allow downloads of positive solutions to come into your brain, into your reality, maybe from somebody else, maybe from the internet, maybe from social media. Maybe you just have an epiphany and an idea pops up in your brain. But you're not going to get to that place until you get to a positive or neutral mindset where you're not skewing negative or going into judgment mode or complaint mode, obviously. You're just neutral. When you're neutral, you can allow those solutions to come in. When you're positive, you can allow the solutions to come in. They can't come in when you're at that negative glass half full mindset. The really fun part about these solutions is you never really know how they're going to come in, but they come in however they come in, and you get to be excited about that. Once you get to that neutral or positive mindset, you just know, you're like, okay, I'm gonna figure this out when I'm gonna figure this out, and I'm not going to stress this or push this or force this, because I won't figure it out if I do that. I'll figure it out if I take a step back, get into a positive state or a neutral state, and just allow the solution to come to me. The people that don't complain, that don't wear garbage colored glasses, those are the people that allow the solutions to come in. And because you watched this video, you can be that person, because now you know the steps to take. Anyway, that's all for this week's video. I love you guys so much.